This is the story of rope and twine. One of the workaday wonders that add up to the miracle of American production. It's a dramatic story, packed with action, variety, and color. It's also the story of 160 million people from coast to coast, of you and me, enjoying the necessities and the luxuries of this land of plenty, made and delivered with the help of those twisted fiber products that are known by those who use them as cordage. Perhaps you, as I was, will be amazed to learn the 1,001 ways in which rope and twine serve us, night and day, directly and indirectly, helping in the colossal job of bringing us everything we eat, or wear, or use. Here you see the source of pulpwood, the first step in making a newspaper. But not only your newspaper. The lumber that built your home, the chair in which you scanned the headlines, they all came from the lumber camp, a great user of cordage products. This tree topper stakes his life on the high climber's rope, a line engineered for easy handling, but made with a wire heart to protect it against the bite of a misdirected axe. Now here's the paper in which you'll read tomorrow's headlines coming off the high-speed presses. To keep pace with the presses and the demands of other industries where tying speed is essential, this unique machine was developed at Plymouth. It ties bundles quickly, economically, with safe, disposable tying twine. Its machine-made joint being twice as strong as hand-tied knots. This is just one example of the research and engineering that continually improves the performance of cordage products in industry. Just a piece of rope? Well, as a matter of fact, there's no such thing as just a piece of rope. Let me explain. This is the high climbers line, which we just saw. It's a quality rope, especially made for one job alone. Now, it's that way with all ropes. They're all especially engineered for the task at hand, and they all have names. Names that mean a lot to the men who use them. Like this one. Now, that may look like the one I just put down, but it's entirely different. This rope is called stormline, a rope used by the maintenance crews who keep the electricity flowing in your home. Now, here's a mountain climber's rope. It's made of nylon. Wherever you see rope or twine at work, you see a quality product designed and made with the care befitting any working tool on which property and human life must depend. We can't show you all the different ropes and twines, but we can show you many. Let's see, for instance, how one of these products, binder twine, helps our farmers gather in their harvests. Grain for flour comes from the blazing plains of the Middle West. On some of the farms, binders cut and tie the wheat. Strong binder twine securely ties and holds the bundles of wheat until they are threshed. From the farms to the flour mills to the bakers and to your kitchen, rope helps move grain on its way. This is another type of rope called shovel line. It's a tough rope, specially built to resist the sandpaper action of hard-surfaced grain. And from another type of farm, the cattle ranch, comes meat for the national larder. And here's a spectacular rope, the lariat, which must stand up under repeated shock loads, abrasion, and exposure to sand, to sun, rain, and wind. It plays a vital role in the hands of the colorful cowboy to bring you beef or steaks and hamburgers, roasts and stews. While the calf sire shows that all wrestlers are not on television. Not only meat, but everything that keeps us the best-fed nation on earth comes from our own fertile farms. And baler twine is in the front line, helping to harvest the hay that feeds the cows that produce all our dairy products. finely spun so as not to jam the baler mechanism, treated against rot, rodents, and insects, specially wound to be completely free running. This twine has the strength it needs, as you can see. Then there's food from the sea, a favorite in the rich variety of the American dinner table. And for the men who man the fishing fleets, dozens of special ropes and twines and special treatments have been developed to keep pace with the progress in fishing techniques. For example, in the cold and rough waters near the Aleutian Islands, you'll find the halibut fishermen. Their preparations are carefully made. The catch is made with a spaced-out series of baited hooks attached to lines that are weighted down to deep water. The lines and hooks must first be coiled in such a manner that the line will not snag when let out from the moving boat into the water. There goes the ground line with its baited hooks and the treated buoy line with a red flag to mark it for pickup after the catch is ready. Look at these beauties soon to be on the way to your table. The ground line and buoy line, both designed for this specific job, both able to withstand the attack of marine microorganisms, have played an important part in bringing you food. Lobsters for the gourmet are caught with another specially engineered rope called pot warp, made to resist distortion from swiftly running tides and the abrasion encountered by continual movement on rocky bottoms. The choice morsel is taken out of the lobster pot, and then the pot is rebaited, dropped to the bottom to catch still another. Schoolfish, such as tuna, salmon, sardines, are caught by what is known as purse seining. The purse line and net are let out, then drawn up and closed underwater to form a purse in which the fish are held prisoner. The purse line itself must have high tensile strength, a resistance to the friction from continual running through the rings in the net. Here's the shimmering harvest, boated with the aid of rope engineered for just this purpose. And now the biggest fish story of them all, whaling, a source of essential oil for your soaps and perfumes. That's the foregoer or forerunner, a specially constructed rope, light and flexible, well suited to following the harpoon accurately, and of course with strength enough for the battle ahead. Notice the difference between the small twine and the foregoer? Both of them products made with this moment in mind. Now to spot the catch. Now she blows. This is the gunman's moment. Straight and true to the target, the foregoer now has to prove its worth. Here's a catch many times bigger than a marlin, swordfish, or tuna. Aboard ship, another quality rope, the whale line. Runs so fast it has to be cooled by water. Then comes the catch. Watch carefully, you may never be this close to a spouting whale. It's a sight even old-timers seldom see except at a distance. From the deep sea to docks and harbors is a long way. But shipping with its cargoes and passengers depend on specially made ropes. Coffee from Brazil, wool, spices from the Far East. Lumber, pipe, countless products are moved by a variety of cargo handling ropes. Whether loading or unloading, behind our whole transportation system is rope. And at the entrance to New York Harbor, there's a lady who knows about good rope. She sees its handiwork every day. Ships from the 7 seas plow slowly through the harbor water. The sturdy workhorse of the harbor, the tug, takes over. First with the aid of a light but strong heaving line. Then with a heavy 6, 8, or 10-inch tugboat line to safely connect tug and ship for docking. On deck, the crew takes the rope. I mean line, sir. The entire docking operation, with a ship worth tens of millions of dollars, depending for safety on the strength of the rope that holds it to the pier, calls for a quality product equal to any challenge. The pull of the ship is so strong that it literally wrings out the water from the line. One type is known as sleeve lay, a rope with an exclusive combination of extra strength, flexibility, and resistance to kinks. Finally, the giant ship is held by a network of lines. Breast lines, bow lines, stern lines, spring lines, each strategically placed, each engineered for its job. The workhorse of the harbor, the tug, has many other chores for rope. It may be to move a barge. Here's a cowboy the kids probably never saw. Instead of a horse, he rides a deck. His lariat is a heavy rope. A special tugboat line, flexible and soft, easy to handle, strong and water resistant. Notice how these qualities in the rope show up in the hands of the skillful deckhand. Or the tug's job may be in rough seas, for her work doesn't end at the harbor's edge. The towing hawser rides through the heaviest of seas, in and out of the water. Nylon, with its high elasticity and abrasion resistance, is being used more and more in the manufacture of this particular rope. Tens of thousands of dollars of cargo are entrusted to these hawsers, which are the only link with the tug and an eventual safe harbor. Car floats, lashed to the tugs that move them, ferry freight cars across the rivers. And to maneuver the freight cars to the tracks aboard the barge, car puller rope, made to stand up under continual friction, helps get the job done. Away from the salt water and the picturesque land of Mark Twain, stubby-nosed river towboats nudge barges of vital materials along our inland waterway system. River traffic is moving along the fingers of water that stretch out to link the heart of the nation to the port of New Orleans. In the locks that make the rivers navigable, gradually stepping them down to sea level, river lock line, internally lubricated and especially twisted to resist distortion and keep the rope manageable when wet, serves as a brake to ease the barge to a stop. On the Great Lakes, ore and slag-laden lake freighters are towed and moored to unloading areas where buckets take the ore from ship to freight car to the steel mills. The open hearth furnace, fiery beacon of heavy industry, blazes over Steel Town, where this material, more versatile than any that an ancient alchemist could dream of, is changed into steel girders for buildings, bridges, highway construction, the products that are the miracle of our time. From the oil fields come fuel for your winter's heat, gas and oil for your car. As in many other industries, oil wells use two types of rope. Wire rope with fiber centers to give the wire flexibility. Or they use rope made of 100% fiber, as in this spinning line. The spinning line acts as a super wrench to join sections of drill pipe, which reach down deep into the earth for the crude oil. In industry after industry, all types of specialized ropes are at work, bringing us the products we use in our everyday life. A violent, sudden storm, lightning, heavy, relentless rain. Then the rainbow. The storm is over, but in its wake, paralysis. Streets are flooded. Wires have been cut. Telephones are dead. The wonder of electricity suspended. Here's when the importance of rope really hits home. Your utility company rushes a crew of troubleshooters to the scene. Rope goes up the pole with the lineman. This is storm line. It's a rope which is mildew and rot proof, resistant to water, strong and safe. Times Square at night with its gay colors, the entrance to the world of entertainment. A visit backstage at the world-renowned Radio City Music Hall is always exciting. A member of the famous Dancing Rockettes, framed against a background of rope, gets some rosin on the soles of her shoes. The scene shifters are at work setting the world's largest stage for one of the theater's great spectacles. Sitting out front, watching this precise performance is a thrill. Behind the scenes, 4 miles of rope, expertly handled, ensure that the show goes on. Throughout the world of entertainment and sport, other types and sizes of rope are used, like the ski tow rope, a specially engineered non-revolving rope with strands that won't open and close and catch gloves or sweaters. Rope helps make the climb easy and safe and adds to the real thrill that comes when you are weaving your way down a wintry slope. In any town along the highway, sights like this are not uncommon. It's carnival time with its shows and sideshows. The tent becomes a flexible building, tight against wind and weather, held there by good tent rope that is flexible and won't shrink. One of the most thrilling of all outdoor adventures, mountain climbing. The rope that spells safety is selected with utmost care. No wonder when your life depends on it. Nylon mountain climbing rope has extremely high breaking strength, resistance to the cutting effect of sharp rocks. Among the proudest possessions of the Plymouth Cordage Company are letters from men such as these, saying thanks for a rope that saved their lives. All if you like the rodeo. And who doesn't? Watch this cowboy rope and tie a calf. Although this part of the film is actually in slow motion, it seems at normal speed, so fast as the cowboy handle his horse and lariat and securely bind the calf's feet with the piggin string. For those whose sport is sailing, there are the finest of manila, nylon, or linen ropes. Anyone with a good pair of sea legs and salt in his blood can't resist the lure of fun like this. The skipper and crews who man the big race of the year also know their ropes. Made to be mildew-proof, water-resistant, strong, and yet easily handled. In the summer or in warmer climes, rope used for water skiing brings healthful pleasure. Again, it calls for a rope that's been made just right for the job. This pretty young lady's skill must be helped by the craftsmanship of men who make rope. But industry of all kinds, sports and entertainment, they all have to bow when the armed forces need cordage products. In World War II, the United States cordage industry tripled its output in rope and twine. It's prepared to do it again if necessary. Rope made in the United States, available for the use of our armed forces, is a top priority product, literally the lifeline of our nation. This pilot's plane crash-landed in the sea, caught fire. The pilot struggled free. Then, when he was just about exhausted, the Lifeline helped him to the rescue ship, where strong hands pulled him aboard, restored his claim to the future. Wounded men take the stretcher route from pickup ship to hospital ships, providing them with the best medical care available. Food is transferred from supply ships to combat vessel, keeping our men well fed no matter where they may be. Assault troops go over the side to landing barges. Ammunition moves toward the beachhead, all helped by rope. Ships are refueled at sea, extending the Navy's striking power across the vast oceans. Doctors are shuttled to perform emergency operations aboard smaller vessels. Thanks to the men who know fibers and how to fashion them into a special rope for each purpose, the rope you can trust. Accepting this responsibility to supply top quality rope are companies typified by the Plymouth Cordage Company, where skill and knowledge in the selection and grading of fibers is the first step in making ropes that can meet any test. Skillfully combed, the fibers are prepared for the spinning machine, where they are expertly twisted into yarns. Then the yarns, in their turn, are formed into strands. A change in the amount of twist can determine the entire characteristic of the final product. And finally, the strands are laid into rope. But in the Plymouth laboratory, the largest cordage laboratory in the world, tests on the abrasion machine and the flexing machine, or in the soil burial room, point the way to a better product. Rope has many natural enemies, but tests such as these uncovered ways to increase its life. The rope sample in the last bottle was specially treated and has resisted marine parasites. And now the final test, demonstrating the extra strength that is not the exception but the rule with all Plymouth Cordage products. The arrow marks the point of specified strength. The dial indicates the actual pounds of pull on the rope. Note how easily the specifications are met, then passed. The rope still holds. The pull is increased. The rope fights back. Higher, higher, before it breaks. This is one of the big brothers in the family, an 8-inch towing hawser. And this is one of the small fry, a length of garden twine. Now, in between, there are literally hundreds of varieties and sizes of rope and twine. There are over 400 uses for these products. Like members of any family, they have some different characteristics, but they also have a lot in common. Whether they be made from fibers such as manila or sisalana or synthetics, whether they're mighty hawsers for docking an ocean liner or a small length of green twine like this to use in staking the flowers in your garden, whatever their job, whatever the raw material from which they came, they were all specially engineered, expertly manufactured to provide extra safety, extra quality. The Plymouth tradition means putting longer life and greater value in what is truly our nation's lifeline.